Well, Spencer McLaren has one of the most impressive lists of credits on Australian TV. While he's currently on a series regular on Fake, opposite Asher Keddy, he also starred in the groundbreaking The Secret Life of Us. But for most of us, we will always remember him for this iconic scene from Home and Away.
And honesty.
We commit ourselves bodily to each other, knowing that we will remain true and faithful within the bounds of our marriage.
No!
Gypsy.
I'm so sorry, Sally, but you can't marry him. He is a liar and he is a hypocrite.
Will you get her out of here, please?
Yeah, get her out of here now. And when Spencer's not busy working with fantastic actors on the small screen, he's inviting them onto his new podcast to learn more about the famous faces that we've all grown up with. And Spencer joins us now live in the studio. Lovely to see you, mate.
Hi,
Thank you for having me.
We've got so much to talk about. We've got to go back to Home and Away. You were on there for like 7 eps. What do you remember about that high impact 25 years ago?
Look, it was crazy, and it was kind of getting to meet, you know, all the people you'd sort of grown up watching and being run out of town by Alf. You know, get out of here, you flaming galah, you know, all of that. And because of it was such a big moment for Sally, you know, everybody came back, like Frank and everybody. So it was kind of sitting around going, wow, this is cool fun, but it was crazy. So.
Wow. Does that bring back good memories, though, seeing that?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does make me smile, absolutely,
Yeah,
you know.
great. You went from one hit show straight to another, The Secret Life of Us.
Yes.
That show was huge. Did that change your life, or how did it change your life?
Absolutely. You know, I think it certainly put me into everybody's vision, you know, like as television exposure does, and it really kind of hit the zeitgeist, I think, at that time. You know, culturally, 20-somethings, you know, working out their lives, you know, your work life, love life, home life, you've got to get this trifecta, and it just seemed to resonate, and it definitely changed my experience day to day.
Hey, you've worked on some really big shows over the years and made some good mates along the way.
Yeah.
You're inviting them in on your new podcast now, McLaren Versus. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so McLaren Versus is basically an access all areas chat with iconic Aussie actors who I just happen to have known across the years.
Nice,
so
right?
it's a chance to, I guess, really meet the people behind the profile. I mean, we'll talk obviously about big ticket items like with Shane Jacobson, we touch on Kenny, Pierre Miranda, we'll talk about looking for Alibrandi, but it's more a focus on their struggles and challenges and how they've dealt with those, you know, to really sort of see the human being
Really interesting,
that exists. Yeah.
You mentioned Shane, and we're just seeing Shane here. So the podcast runs 9 hours, does it? Is that?
Yeah, with Shane.
He loves a chat.
He does love a chat. Look, we did cut it down. I may release the full version in a 3-part series. You know, but he's a wonderful human being, and he does so many things. He has like 14 businesses, and you know, and he did kind of talk a lot about you know, why he does those sorts of things, and his crazy thought patterns, and he does tease a little bit on a new chapter for Kenny that he's got in the works, which is kind of cool and exciting. I was like, ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. Who else you got coming up?
Pierre Miranda, Christine Anu, Eddie Perfect, Heather Mitchell, Marina Pryor, Damon Gammo.
Oh, great.
It's been a really wonderful experience, and a little bit of therapy too, having shared experiences. You know, kind of course, you know, Pierre and I talk a lot about how crappy it is to be famous and poor. You know, after you've done a job and it finishes and you didn't get a cheque for $4 million, you've got to go out and kind of find a job and go, well, how do I do that when everyone's looking at you going, why are you serving me a coffee? What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
you know,
that's interesting, isn't it?
It's really quite a unique position to be in, and so you know, we kind of had a bit of a laugh about that experience, and again, just humanising that and saying this is the reality.
And what's it like being on the other side, the guy asking the questions of other people, as opposed to being the focus of attention? I guess.
Look, I really enjoy it. You know, my ambition now is to become the Oprah Winfrey of Australia.
Yes,
you know, sort of come and share your stories. But it's been really lovely to get a chance to showcase these people who I know and love, and I want other people to see that as well. So it's been really rewarding to get a chance to share that.
Who's your dream guest right up on top of the whiteboard?
Larry, of course, yourself.
Oh, I'm easy.
You know.
Who else?
I would really like to have a chat with Hugh Jackman. We worked for a couple of years together on Beauty and the Beast some years ago, so we know each other. And you know, he's a very, very busy man, but such a, again, wonderful human being. And so he's there, and you know, I'd love to go old school, have a bit of a natter with like Nancy Hayes, or even like someone like a Baz Luhrmann too.
So, that'd be
Stories
great
they could
chats.
Yeah.
All right. And mate, lovely to see you. Congrats on this.
Thank you so
It's really
much.
exciting.
Thanks,
for you.
Spencer.
really appreciate it.
So Spencer's podcast is called McLaren Versus. New episodes drop every Tuesday, and the first one off the bat has dropped, and it was
Shane Jacobson.
Shane Jacobson. Terrific.
Goes
Thank
for 9
you.
hours with 2 intervals.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Spencer.
Hey,